Hello, welcome back guys to another prediction video. This time about the semifinals of the Club World Cup. Now, in the quarterfinals, a lot of insane results happened. And I'll get to that later. So it's only right that I give you my predictions. Yeah, and trust me, you might actually want to stay to the end, because I may have some upsets. Who knows? So let's get right into it. Okay, starting off with Fluminense versus Chelsea. Now, Fluminense started off their Club World Cup tying 0-0 to Dortmund, and then they beat South Korean side Ulsan 4-2 with a brilliant free kick by Jorarias. Yeah, my Colombian guy scored a really good free kick in that game. And then they tied 0-0 to Mamelodi Sundowns. And then they got past the group and had to play Inter in the round of 16. Now, many people, including me, was that Fluminense have no chance against Inter, because Inter are the runners-up of the Champions League, even though they lost 5-0. So, what did Fluminense do? They won 2-0. And then they had to play Al Hilal. But again, many people thought Al Hilal was going to beat Fluminense, because Al Hilal just beat Man City and somehow managed to get a draw against Real Madrid. But the game started with a goal from Martinelli in the 40th minute. Yeah, and then Marcos Leonardo, the guy who scored 2 goals against Manchester City, scored to make his 4th goal, I think. Yeah, 4th goal in the Club World Cup to tie it up 1-1. But then in the 70th minute, Fluminense struck again, and then they go to the semifinals where they play Chelsea. And now Chelsea, they started off their group by beating LAFC 2-0, and then they actually lost to Flamengo 3-1 when they went up 1-0, and then Flamengo managed to score 3 goals because Chelsea got a red card. And then they had to beat Sporting Club de Tunis, which they did pretty convincingly, 3-0. And then they finished 2nd. And you know what? You might be thinking they had to play Bayern. Well, they actually didn't play Bayern, because Bayern finished 2nd in the group. Bayern finished 2nd in the group, and Benfica finished 1st. So they had to play Benfica, which is easier. So the game started by a brilliant free kick from Reece James. But then in the 85th minute, the match got suspended due to thunder and lightning in the East Coast. Yeah, I know. I live in the East Coast, and it's been like this so much. There's been thunder and lightning. And then in the 90+5th minute, Chelsea made a mistake, and Benfica got a penalty, so Di Maria equalized 1-1. But then Chelsea actually did the impossible. Benfica got a red card, and then Chelsea scored 3 goals to make the game 4-1. And then the game finished 4-1 for Chelsea, where they had to play Palmeiras. Now, as you may know, Palmeiras was not an easy opponent. Palmeiras was not an easy opponent because they finished 1st in their group, beat Botafogo in the round of 16, and now they have to play Chelsea. So, I was expecting this to be a close game, since Palmeiras were my champions. And you know what? The game was actually pretty close. Cole Palmer scored his 1st goal like in 2 months to put the game up 1-0. And then, yeah, in the 73rd minute, Chelsea-owned player Estevao scored a tight angle goal to put the game 1-1. So, then, it was looking most likely that the game was going to go to extra time. But no, after some defensive mistakes, Chelsea scored because of an own goal from Palmeiras to put the game 1-1. And then, yeah, the game finished 2-1 Chelsea. So now, who do I have winning this clash? You know what? This is actually pretty hard. You know what? I've underestimated Fluminense so much since the start from this tournament, but they're looking very good. You know what? Yeah. I'm sorry Fluminense, but you know what? I actually don't know who's gonna win. But if I had to pick, it would be Fluminense. I'm sorry, Chelsea. I'm sorry, Chelsea fans, but Fluminense are gonna reach the final. That's my upset. And now, moving on to our next prediction. PSG versus Real Madrid. You know what? I actually predicted this semi-final to be true in my group stage prediction video. So, but before we get into that, let's thank the sponsor of today's video. Michelab is today's sponsor because you go to the FIFA page, type up michelab.com player of the match, and yeah, for this one I didn't vote because I forgot to, but yeah, I voted for other games, so I think this is a great sponsor because you can vote player of the match on every Michelab appearance. So yeah, it's a lot of fun, so hope you get to the FIFA page and vote player of the match. Now let's get back to the video. Okay, now that I've thanked the sponsor of today's video, let's move on to the next semi-final clash. PSG versus Real Madrid. What a game this is. Mbappe versus his former club. Xabi Alonso versus Luis Enrique. What a game this is. So, starting off with PSG, they topped their group. In their opening game, they outplayed Atletico Madrid by crushing them 4-0. But then, the unexpected happened. The 7th place Brazilian club, Botafogo, beat PSG 1-0. Yeah, 1-0. And then they had to win their final game. If they didn't win and Atletico won, they would have been out. So, yeah, they won their last game against Seattle Sounders 2-0. But since they topped the group, they had to play the second place of Group A. So, the second place of Group A was Inter Miami. And what a game this was. Messi against his former club. What a game. So, the game started by João Neves scoring a header, and then João Neves scored again. Yeah, João Neves is so underrated, man. And then there was an own goal. I don't remember who scored the own goal. And then, but in the 45th minute, Hakimi scored to put the game 4-0. And then that's what PSG did. They just relaxed and let Inter Miami counterattack. And they advanced to the next round. So, and then they had to play Bayern Munich, who they beat Flamengo in the quarterfinals, round of 16, and had to play Bayern Munich. Now, this was a repetition of the 2020 UCL final. Who was gonna win? My prediction was PSG. So, PSG won the game 2-0. But you know what? Bayern couldn't do this. Like, oh my god. The game started by a disallowed goal by Jonathan Tah, because he was clearly offside. But then in the 78th minute, Desire Doué, the wonder kid from PSG, I really like Doué, and he scored a goal with his weak foot to put the game up 1-0. But then Pacho did a very bad tackle, and that injury was actually scary. Musiala's ankle was holding, and he couldn't step on the ground because he got injured very badly. And Pacho got a red card, so that means he's going to be missing the game against Real Madrid. What did PSG do? Park the bus, defend, and counterattack. And that's exactly what they did. But in the 90th minute, Lucas Hernandez got a red card. And now PSG were down to 9 men. And I was thinking, surely Bayern are going to score an equalizer. Well, I was wrong. Because, yeah, I got saved. I was safe when Dembele scored the goal to wrap the game up 2-0. This is what Bayern can't do. They cannot even beat a PSG team with 9 men. It's an 11v9. What are you expecting? I was expecting Bayern to come back, but they couldn't. Okay, now moving on to Real Madrid. Now, Real Madrid finished first in their group. Well, I mean, they tied the first game against Al Hilal, but it didn't matter at the end because they beat Pachuca and Salzburg both times. Yeah. And then they had to play Juventus in the round of 16. And I was there. I was there at the stadium. Yeah, and Madrid dominated the game. And yeah, they had to win, and they did. 1-0. Gonzalo Garcia is actually cooking for Madrid. But then, they had to play Dortmund. So, now Dortmund are not an easy team. They have really, really good players. But in the 5th minute, Gonzalo Garcia, of course, it has to be Gonzalo Garcia. What a player this guy is. This guy is the perfect replacement for Mbappe. If Mbappe gets injured, you got Gonzalo Garcia. I'm sorry, Hendrik, but yeah, Real Madrid just ruined your career. You have to get loaned out. Gonzalo Garcia is the perfect man replacement for Mbappe. And then Fran Garcia doubled the lead by making it 2-0. And at the moment, because then in the 80th minute, everybody was thinking, yeah, Madrid is easy won this game. But in the 90th minute, Dortmund scored to take one back. And yeah, this game was just pure entertainment, man. It was peak entertainment. But then, oh my god, Mbappe came on and then he scored one of the most brilliant bicycle kicks I've ever seen in my life. That just might be the goal of the tournament. Although it's tied with Reece James' free kick, John Arias' free kick, and yeah, the Pachuca guy's free kick. But then Dortmund scared again. This time, the Czech guy, Dean Huijsen, got a red card. You know what? That match impact Madrid for the semifinals against PSG. And then yeah, Guirassy scored to bring one back. And then Dortmund had to attack, and Real Madrid had to park the bus. And that's exactly what Madrid did. Parked the bus and Dortmund attacked. And then Dortmund, they took a shot and Courtois saved it. Dortmund were so close to tying Madrid. They were so close to sending that game to extra time. If that shot went in, I would have gone crazy. Because that game was just peak, man. It was peak. And now they have to play PSG in the semifinals. What a semifinal this is. So who do I got winning this one? It's kind of tough because PSG will not have Pacho and Lucas Hernandez. He was the backup for Nuno Mendes, but Real Madrid will not have Huijsen, which is bad for them. Oh wait, I forgot to do my prediction of Fluminense versus Chelsea. 1-1, and Fluminense win on penalties. And what's my prediction of this one? Okay, I'm sorry, Real Madrid. Actually, no, I'm not sorry. I'm a Barca fan. PSG are gonna win this 3-2 again. A peak entertainment game. 3-2. Maybe Mbappe can score against his former club. But yeah. So, yep. So those are my predictions. And I'll be back on Saturday or Friday or Thursday to show you my final prediction. We'll see you for the final prediction.